Good evening, Facebook. It is 7:48 p.m. Eastern Time, and there is a lot to get to and not a lot of time to do it in. So let's wait a couple of seconds just to get a few people in here, and I will get right into it. There is none of what I'm going to talk about is funny. None of it is amusing. It is downright terrifying. And this is my political truth, and my name is Jerry Trump2020. Thank you for joining me again. Today is Wednesday, July 29th, 2020, and as the days go on, we can tell that what I say on a daily basis, that Barack Obama was the most corrupt president in the history of our country, is becoming more and more evident, self-explanatory, and unbelievably provable. But yet, nobody wants to talk about it. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Kim. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Let's get right into it. We have 97 days till the election. Hi, Mom. 97 days until the biggest election of our lives. And I cannot stress this enough. I can't say it any more seriously. The future of our country and the future of our liberty is at stake 97 days from today. We will not embrace the ideas and the ideologies that have destroyed countries, that have destroyed lives, and we will continue to fight for our freedom, no matter what these Democrats, these communists, these terrorists want to do and show. Let's just pick it right up with Attorney General Bill Barr's testimony yesterday. There are so many things wrong with that hearing. First of all, when you call an attorney general to testify, that is super, you better have a super good reason to have the attorney general come to Congress and testify in front of the House Judiciary Committee. There has to be some sort of congressional purpose. And the congressmen and women ask questions, and the person testifying answers these questions. Correct me if I'm wrong, but not a single damn Democrat let Bill Barr get a word in to answer any of these so-called questions. I mean, for example, look at this prick, this scumbag congressman from Georgia, Hank Johnson. He's the Democratic rep from Georgia. I mean, did I have to tell you he was a Democrat? He asked Bill Barr about the sentencing for Roger Stone. Something to the effect of, did you recommend the sentencing guidelines? Didn't you agree with the original sentencing guidelines? And then after Donald Trump tweeted his dissatisfaction, didn't you go in and change that recommendation? Bill Barr repeatedly tried to say, no, I didn't, and that's incorrect. And this prick, Hank Johnson, kept talking over him. And I'm going to keep saying all of their names. I have come to despise, not just hate, but categorically despise some of these representatives. For example, Jerry Nadler, Eric Swalwell, Jamie Raskin, Hank Johnson, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I got a new campaign slogan that I started today. It's MAGA again, but it's Make AOC Go Away. That's the new MAGA. Make AOC go away. Make that poison go away. There is a man out of her district named Anton Tucker. He is running against AOC. Look this man up. Look him up. He is a black man, smart black man, a former felon, but got his act together, turned his entire life around, And now he's coming for AOC, and he has supporters. So look that man up. Yeah, Nadler is what you said he is, Kim. He is the blatant lying. The blatant freaking lying. I mean, he started out Monday terribly when asked about what's going on in Tony Montega, you know him, Kim. When asked about the violence in Portland and whether Antifa is behind it, and he looks directly at this man and says that it's just a myth that's just going around here in DC. And the man goes, what, Antifa? He said, yes. He even asked for clarification. He asked this weeble wobble, Humpty Dumpty looking bastard to clarify. And he did. God forgive nothing, Kim. You don't ask for God's forgiveness when it comes to Jerry Nadler, because he doesn't ask for it. I've never seen a more self-hating, self-deprecating Jewish person in my life. He's an embarrassment to the tribe. Speaking as a member, I will tell you that he is an embarrassment to the tribe. We disowned him a long time ago. Then you got this other scumbag rep from Rhode Island. What was his name? Cicilline? He kept taking on his mask, taking it on, taking it off. Putting it on, taking it off. All while he was speaking, right? He actually had the audacity to compare these terrorists, these rioters in these cities, to the civil rights movement of the 60s. If I was any of these people that are still alive that participated in the 1960s civil rights movement, I would be utterly insulted and offended if I took part in what Martin Luther King Jr. believed in. To have some schmuck from Rhode Island compare them to these miscreants is an insult to the legacy that they left behind, that Martin Luther King left behind, that John Lewis, when he was still somewhat normal before the progressives got to his brain, what John Lewis did. That's an insult to all of those people. The fact that Cicilline could say that, he should be embarrassed. And Rhode Island should impeach him just for that comparison. Listen, I can pretty much bet my life that there was only 10 to 15% Democratic viewership on this hearing yesterday, right? But the people that did watch, the people that have some semblance of common sense, some pride and love for this country, should be utterly disgusted and terrified with what you saw yesterday. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, alien, I don't give a crap what you are. If you weren't terrified, horrified, mortified by what you saw in that hearing yesterday, you have absolutely no right to call yourself an American. I am pulling your American card. It is damn near impossible. Hi, babe. I saw you before. I forgot to say hi. I'm so in the zone right now. I find it difficult to keep my mouth shut when it comes to this kind of stuff. And I'm lucky in the sense that I don't have to answer to a corporation. I could come on here and do whatever I want and say whatever I want, and I'll continue to do that, and nobody's going to censor me. That's just the way it is. I'm going to continue to call it like I see it every day. I will continue to tell the truth every day until Facebook physically shuts down my account. or YouTube or Twitter or whoever. I really don't care. Because I am done. I'm done. I made it very clear that anybody on the other side that didn't have a comment to make after watching that garbage yesterday, if they didn't have a comment to make to me and explain to me what I just watched, then they should very, very simply just unfriend me. Because I have no time in my life for that kind of stupidity and ignorance. I just absolutely do not. I agree with you, Tammy. Tammy says, it was a nightmare to watch. I was appalled that they are a part of our government. Yeah, everybody should be appalled. Everybody. Yeah, Kim, my Democrat friends and family cut me off. I think I started this on June 10th of this year. June 11th, I think I was cut off permanently. So it's fine. I mean, if that's the kind of people they want to be, I'm good with that, you know? The reason that they are cut off or cutting us off or don't want to have anything to do with us, it's not because of our beliefs. It's not. I mean, listen, we don't all agree on everything. We never will all agree on everything, and that's what makes life interesting. However, these mutants, you can't come to them with facts. You can't come with them with statistics, because if you do, right away, you're a racist, a white supremacist, all kinds of other words that I don't want to utter on here because I made a vow not to curse, and I'm going to continue to try to do that. Now, I said I wouldn't curse in English. I might slide in a couple of Russian adjectives here and there, but I promised I wouldn't curse in English, so I won't. Listen, what else did we learn from this hearing? What I learned yesterday, and I try to watch things analytically. I try not to take the literal meaning out of it because, listen, the literal meaning out of that cluster F yesterday was that we have a completely incompetent branch of government that has a cumulative IQ no bigger than my shoe size. And they're pathological liars. So that's the literal meaning I got out of yesterday's hearing. Analytically, this is what I learned about the communists. The Communist Party, aka the Democrats, they've put all their chips in the center of the table, and they've doubled and tripled down on this Marxist communists that are trying to tear this country down, all in the name of winning an election on November 3rd and fundamentally destroying our country. These people, and I mean the representatives, the Congress people, the senators, the ones supporting the left side, they have literally bet it all on this election. They literally bet everything they have. They've bet their careers. They've bet their reputations. Because I'm going to tell you what, on election day, America's going to speak up. And I like to think that my countrymen are smarter more than they are stupid. And I like to think that the smart people and the ones with a semblance of common sense lead the dummies at least like a 60-40 margin. It is, they have made excuse after excuse for what's the paramilitary wing of their organization, which is all of the terrorists that are in these towns right now. They have backed them 100%. They have continued to make excuse after excuse, lie after lie. They are not confirming or acknowledging or agreeing to the fact that there's actually violence being started by A, these rioters and paid terrorists, and then B, that the Democrat-run cities are falling the freak apart because of the violence and because these derelict mayors and governors and police chiefs and police departments have their hands tied by the derelict mayors and by the derelict governors. They can't do their job. People are getting killed by the dozens. Babies being shot. Teenagers being killed while playing basketball. I mean, think about it. Back in middle school and high school, I used to go out and play ball every day. Used to go to the schoolyard and play basketball every day. That's what happened to these two kids on Sunday. The 14-year-old and the 18-year-old in New York. They were playing ball. And some savage wants to drive by and start spraying the block with gunshots and take two lives that didn't even start yet. Didn't even start yet. Did Black Lives Matter then? Does Black Lives Matter when a 3-year-old gets shot in the forehead while crossing the street with their family? Does Black Lives Matter then? Reverend Al Sharpton, where are you? Huh? All you racist savages and all of you self-hating, self-deprecating white people, you imbeciles, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Your parents should have aborted you. The destruction that's going on in this country is inexcusable. And every single one of these mayors that's allowing this to continue should be removed from office and brought up on charges for treason, terrorism, obstruction of justice, insurrection. I could keep going and going. And I'm not even a lawyer, a judge, a cop, anything. These are just charges off the top of my head. If I could think of this, can you imagine what the charges can truly be if somebody that gave a crap? They don't care. This is collateral damage that they're okay with. If they can go and turn it all around and blame coronavirus and the violence and these terrorists in these cities on Donald Trump, what else? What aren't they capable of? Unbelievable. And these people go on and make excuse after excuse, lie after lie. There's no violence. They're peaceful protesters. Yeah, peacefully got stabbed 17 times. Peacefully got hit across the head with a bat. Peacefully trying to burn down a damn courthouse. Yeah, peaceful. All I heard during this hearing was them attacking the police. They were attacking Bill Barr, lying about what's going on in American cities, lying about what happened in Lafayette Park down the block from the White House. Ladies and gentlemen, you have now seen that this Democrat Party is in full-on radical progressive mode and on the fringe of insanity. And many of them already crossed that line. They are on the insane side. Make no mistake about it. These people have lost their collective minds. You know, when these politicians, Democrats included, were more level-headed, were fairer, I used to say that I want to see bipartisan agreements. I want to see both sides of the aisle work together and agree on bills and laws and legislation and things to make our country better. Well, my position on that has completely changed. I have taken a complete 180. I don't want any bipartisan anything. I don't want the poison of the Democratic Party infiltrating a single thing that the Republican Party wants to do to preserve the sanctity of this country, to preserve the liberties that we have, that so many have fought, died, bled for. I want no input from the Democrats. None. Oh, Charles, you hit the nail right on the head. You know, going back to what I was talking about with Hank Johnson. Charles here says, Democratic Tuesday morning memo, quote, I'm reclaiming my time, end quote. That's exactly what Hank Johnson was doing to Bill Barr when Bill Barr was trying to answer the question about the sentencing for Roger Stone. Hank Johnson kept saying, the minute Bill Barr opened his mouth, Hank Johnson started saying, I'm reclaiming my time, I'm reclaiming my time. And that became the pattern for the next, 4, 5, 6 hours? It's unconscionable what they did yesterday. Unconscionable. These idiots then asked Attorney General Barr if he thinks that this election will be rigged or fixed. What the hell kind of question is that to ask a man that is testifying about some very serious matters? That's the best question you could think of? First of all, that question should be rhetorical, because I don't think there's a single person watching me within the sound of my voice or within a 5,000-mile radius doesn't believe that the Democrats are incapable of fixing an election. If that's not what they want to do, if they don't want to fix an election, why are they pushing for mail-in ballots so bad? Why are they censoring these 12 doctors that came out Monday and spoke up? You better believe this isn't Twitter, YouTube, Google. They're not the ones pulling the strings, ladies and gentlemen. They're not the ones. It's the politicians, then it's the media moguls, in that order. And do you really think that Mark Zuckerberg or Bezos or any of these other tech geeks that were testifying today really give a crap about whether or not they censor and who they censor? And they don't care. They're so corrupted by the amount of money that they have. It is unbelievable. And there was a congressman asked the guy that, I forget the name, I didn't write it down, it wasn't important to me, but there was a good question asked. One congressman, conservative of course, definitely not a Democrat congressman, asked the guy that was there representing Google. He said, can you tell us today, can you tell the nation today that you will not censor anything on the conservative side? And you will give us the same platform that you give the Democrats. I mean, the guy was stuttering so bad, I thought he contracted Tourette's while testifying. Yeah, Louis, they're trying really hard. And I think 2016 caught them off guard. They didn't expect President Trump to win. They were completely caught off guard. They're not going to be caught off guard this time. They're taking every precaution. The only precaution they're not taking is the candidate they're rolling out there. But I mean, come on. We already know who his running mate is going to be, 99%. It looks like it's going to be Kamala Harris. Yeah, they accidentally let that leak. If you think that was an accident, I mean, if they could convince you of that, then, God, with my skills, I could convince you of anything. It is... What these people are doing, ladies and gentlemen, is they're trying to break down our liberties, our freedoms, our basic day-to-day lives for their cause. AOC comes out today, and of course, CNN and MSDNC, they completely blasted this video of an unmarked van snatching up one of these terrorists off the streets of New York. And AOC has the audacity to come out and said, quote, Civil rights are on the brink after an NYPD officer snatched up a savage off the street, like I said, in an unmarked van. Good. Not enough. Not enough. Was it Jim Jordan, Tammy? Good. Jim Jordan's the best, isn't he? Oh, I could watch him tear into these idiots. Just pop me some popcorn and watch Jordan go off. Oh, he's amazing. The things that he says to them and the abuse he lays down. And I think the best comeback that one of these Democrats, and this actually made me chuckle, Jim Jordan was telling them yesterday, you got to let the man answer. You're asking him, are you going to give a speech or are you going to answer the question? Or let him answer the question. And the best comeback that the Democrats had is that, put your mask on. That's all they had for him. They said, put your mask on to Jim Jordan. Come on, man. It's, what's her name? Valerie Jarrett. You guys remember her? She was the one that Roseanne Barr said something about. And I guess they took it as racist, and Roseanne Barr got her entire career canceled, right? Because of this Valerie Jarrett person. And she was on Maria Bartiromo's show on Fox Business this morning. And Maria Bartiromo asked her about the Obamagate and the Spygate scandal. And this is what the Democrats do. Make no mistake, they did this about Benghazi when 4 American patriots lost their lives because of the incompetence of Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. We remember that debacle, right? So Valerie Jarrett said, why are you talking about something that's 4 years old already? We got to move on from that. We haven't even begun to peel back the first layer of the onion yet, Val. She wanted to have nothing to do with answering that question on Maria's show this morning. At all. Switching topics real quick. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, the media has been oddly silent when it comes to coronavirus cases in Portland and Seattle. Have you noticed that? I haven't heard any media reports. I will tell you this. If you look up on CDC.com, the numbers in Seattle and Portland are through the roof. This just continues and confirms the ideology that the media only cares about coronavirus when the coronavirus doesn't impact their narrative directly. And their current narrative is there's violence and chaos everywhere and it's Donald Trump's fault. Shh. Don't talk about coronavirus in Portland and Seattle. It's not important. It's not important because these savages have been burning Portland down for over 2 months now. Every night. And they just started reporting it like 2 weeks ago, if even that. 2 months steadily. And CNN won't run the footage. And when the House Republicans tried to play the video yesterday, the Democrats cut the video off. Is anybody surprised? These people have no integrity. They have no credibility. And like I said, they should all be hauled out of their offices in freaking handcuffs and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Treason, insurrection, obstruction, RICO. We could charge them with RICO because believe me when I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, they are the biggest organized crime gang in the world, along with the Clintons. Charles says, while the Democrats pander, the mainstream media slanders. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm really happy about this next story. I'm going to end the night off on a really, really happy note. I got good news. If you guys remember the Nicholas Sandmann story. If you don't, let me give you a quick synopsis. I'll give you the cliff notes. Nicholas Sandmann was a high school kid protesting about 2 years ago. He's from Covington High School. He had the audacity to wear a Donald Trump hat. Him and his friends were high school kids that were Trump supporters. They show up to a protest, and these Native Americans get in their face. You almost got me there. These Native Americans get in their face and start taunting him. So the kid stands there, takes it, smiles, and then he got completely torn apart by CNN, the Washington Post, the New York Slimes, all the disgusting rags that have absolutely zero credibility or integrity left. Now this kid is up about $400 million. He just settled out of court with the Washington Post, somewhere in the area of $250 million. And next up is CNN. And I hope he bankrupts them, because they did a number on this poor kid. He wasn't even a freaking adult yet when they did this. He wasn't. I mean, it's completely ridiculous. I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. I really needed to talk about all of this. And like every night, I'm going to end this off with a quote. And this comes from the man himself again, Abraham Lincoln. Whatever you are, be a good one. And with that, have a great night. Trump 2020. Love you guys.